Chapter 2. Dennis, a college friend, gave Larry counseling information right after he listened to the late news. Unfortunately, at this moment, Larry just wanted to go, being ignored or something, left him alone. You change, Larry. You are not the same Larry I've once known. What happened? Do New York and Los Angeles that bad? Influenced you like this? Larry let the silence continued. His steps kept on moving, tracing the beach. Dennis is trying to keep his actions in a row with Larry, almost running. It's been 2 hours. People who were burning their skin have gone, one by one. Why you're not answering? Larry's eyes stare at sunset in front of him. Still acts like a statue. I understand your feeling. Your soul is gloom right now. You need peace. Larry exhaled slowly. Deep in his heart, he admitted Dennis's words. Come to the Mass, Larry. There is no need. It will not help. I don't believe in religion. Why not? I came to the meeting when my wife died, and then I feel better. Larry looked at the perimeter. It's going to dark. We've better go home, he said while speeding up a step. Larry, try it first. Dennis still stands in its place. It worked on me. Not me. Larry goes on. Or maybe you could try yoga or else, Dennis yelled, starting his moves to chase. Not interested, Larry replied even harder. Dennis runs after him. Hey, I'm just offering some help. Thanks, but I don't need it. Larry turns into the parking lot. Dennis rushes to follow. So, how will you handle this problem? I'll find one, Larry answered, sounded sure. Well, if you need anything? Let's go, Larry opens the car's door. Larry is already holding the steer. Dennis did what Larry had told him. Okay, let me make this clear. If you need anything, maybe fasten your seat belt, Larry cut the line again. He never let Dennis finish his offering. As a friend, the engine has been started. I really want to help. The car was running faster. Besides, I owe you once. Wyoming is a perfect place to cool down, the exact location to put yourself all together. There is George, who have ears to listen to. Always can be counted on. Even Larry still have the guilty feeling, not to forget the anger. He realized there's not much he can do. His disappointment with the institution he has respected most along these years, somehow, did his job like nothing to be proud of. Useless. Meaningless. What's next, George? Larry said, a bit desperate. After all of my achievements, after most of the company's stock I have. Then what? What I'm looking for? When my age comes to 70, all of these will be garbage. So, what's the use of being working? What's the meaning of my life? Maybe to enjoy the scenery? George stares outside the window, observing millions of stars in the sky. It's so beautiful, isn't it, young master? Larry smiles a little. Sometimes, George is just like babysitting him. Calling him young master brought Larry a short memory when he was still a boy. Larry dragged breath. Tilted his face upward, same as George. I do sometimes have this thought. What's up there? I mean, behind those planets is there and, I don't know. Secret? Another world? There may be a paradise, replied George, like daydreaming. And maybe there is also God. Larry smiles, but sourly. Unfortunately, I don't believe in God. George looked at Larry, a bit sadly. Larry soon diverted his face to the sky once more. He doesn't mean it, and he's scared George would guess it. But when Gary's murderer is free out there safely, laughing cynically on his wound, which will stay there a few years later, when his team was apart, Larry didn't feel any God as mentioned George. He just felt hollow, empty, and injustice. What he tasted in the soul is only emptiness, a torn justice. Mary's probably right. Something missing. Larry can feel it, although he would be crazy if he had to define it. But it is more valuable than money or trophies. It's something that can fill the hole in Larry's heart. His existence. Belongings. The simple question sounded, what was he born for? 25 the previous year. Larry can be great cops, Sergeant Brock said to his comrade. I want him to take care of the company. Mr. Watson stares at his son, who is playing. We don't have anyone else. He's already prepared for that. Sergeant Brock shook his head. It's a pity. Sergeant Brock regretting, I wish I can train him in person. I simply can't expect it from my Stephanie. If one day Larry himself wants to be a cop, I'll trust him to you, Brock. But for now, we are preparing him to lead our company in the future. Sergeant Brock looks disappointed. As I said before, he should have had a brother, Watson.